Hello and welcome back to another Poppy Builds video. Yay! If you cannot tell, I have already put down the flooring, the wallpaper, and the outline of this build because this video is quite long as it is, and I didn't want to extend it by including that. So that's where we are so far. We are in San Myshuno, and I am decorating this specific space for 8 model Sims. So they're all studio apartments. That was the intention. I really wanted to do studios, and because like 85% of the apartments in San Myshuno are absolutely massive, you have to create your own little tiny ones, and so that is what I am doing today. So welcome, hello, enjoy. As you can see, this is the first little apartment. I'll show you at the end which one is my favorite that I did design, but all of the spaces were really awkward to work with, and you'll be able to tell, especially like with the one I think I do next. It's very awkwardly shaped, but it was just so fun to figure out and see what I could do. I also wanted to, for every single space, try to have like a full bed, a kitchen table, dining room area, sorry, not a dining room area, like a kitchen table, a living room area, and all of that, like full apartment living but studio size. So some apartments in this build are successful, others absolutely not. This is one of them where it's not absolutely not, it's just missing a good old dining room table, so they definitely eat on their couch a lot. I do think, again, real life you could have easily fit chairs in here. Where I would have put them in real life is, you see that little what do they call it, entryway table, like the side table, that table right there next to the lamp. You could slide chairs under there, like poofs or something, or just small chairs, and then make that your dining room table. Now that I've said that, I kind of wish I had hid poofs underneath there to pretend that it actually was a table. So let's all pretend that that was part of it, but it wasn't. But that would have been a cool addition. Otherwise, this is definitely a small studio. I think it's the second smallest in this whole entire build, but it definitely has a solid layout. I also did not skimp on any bathroom space. I wanted them to have full bathrooms. Of course, I had to use the shower from Discovery University because it's like the only shower that fits in this 4x4. As you can see, I tried to put the island living one from Solani in there. It did not work. So Discovery University shower it was. And then to spice it up a little, I wanted to add a unique lamp into the space, and I did, and that's pretty much the whole build. So the second one I'm building for right now, this second space, this is not the space that I thought I was building. This second space, the interior is very tiny, but her exterior is massive, so she has like the best of both worlds, kind of. And this specific space I am designing for like a athletic model, like she models sports related stuff, so she'd be on the cover of like a ski magazine or a surfing magazine type of thing, instead of like a fashion magazine, which is what I kind of designed the other Sims over here to, like that's their specific model path, whereas this one's like a sports model. So she is, if you can see her, she's the one with blonde hair, and I love it. But the only downside about the very small space was that she is the only Sim that gets a single bunk bed. Alas. Because, yeah, this space was super small. And I had to also play test to make sure that she could come up. And then I changed the whole entire design of it, so that was arbitrary anyway. But I move everything because I don't like how I have it, because I couldn't fit a kitchen in here and a like living room, so you will see. You'll see what ends up happening. This is when I'm like, what is this stupid thing you were doing? Stop it. Switch it around. Fix it up. And that's exactly what I did. So this is gonna be ending up where the final placement of the bed is. And there were a little few glitchy moments towards the end when I do view this, but when you see during this build, I kind of went ham. I had a lot of fun building it, but like it did glitch towards the end, and I'll point that out when we do the walkthrough. So it's this little space here that ends up glitching. I end up adding this fits perfectly, like a little, photography wall mount with all the photography items on it, and like a shelf mount to also act as her side table, which was absolutely perfect. But all of the items that I ended up putting on this little side table, which you'll see in a moment, just absolutely glitched and disappeared through the walkthrough, so I have no idea where they went. But I did put loads of like book items on here to have skill building items in this space, but I don't know where they went during the glitch. It's very, very strange. And those flip-flops, love it. So I'm really thinking she's like a surf model. That's her vibe. So as you can see, this space has now gotten really, really small. And I don't have like a living room in here. I don't have a kitchen table. I eventually end up adding a little chair, as you will see, because I refused for her only exterior like relaxation space to be outside, to be the exterior. So that was really, really tough to mess about with, but I end up liking this space a lot. The whole entire point of this build for me personally was to see what I could do and come up with where my creative side was when it came to design. And it's definitely emulated in this really tiny space. Because initially I'm just giving it some nice good old decoration, and then I get sad because I was like, they need a chair so they can eat inside, they can just relax inside. And so I gave them one little chair, and it works very, very well. It looks really beautiful, and it's not functional, the like clothing thing, now that I've put like a lamp there, but again, I never ever use the like closets for like their intended purposes. They're just aesthetic and like what you would actually have in a real life space, so I add them. But if I ever want to change the clothes in The Sims, I just click on the sim. So that's why I was comfortable blocking it off a little bit, because it was more of an aesthetic item than a functional one. Otherwise I would have been much more observant and intense on where I did place it to make sure it was functional. So that is her beautiful interior, but as you can see, she has this massive, massive exterior. I wanted her to have a treadmill, a yoga mat, and then also a bigger couch to relax in. And it turns out really, really well. I do love this space a lot. It just has good vibes to it. I also think in retrospect, like, you could have gotten rid of the desk and then put a little couch underneath it, but I kind of like how the interior looks because the desk is chunky, so it has a lot of space to design, and that was the concept. So if you just saw on the bottom left of the screen, that is the third sim I am designing for. When I was designing all of these spaces, I was very intentional and I had a specific concept in mind for each sim. Like, I created them, clothed them for like a specific intention. And now that I'm recording this, the only sim I can like remember their like aesthetic was the sports girl one, so there is that. I think here's to hoping as this like continues that my mind gets refreshed, because I can't remember some of the and I had such a good concept behind all of them too. I was so proud of myself and I have forgotten them. That's so frustrating. I think the design behind this one was to be a little bit more less modern, a little bit more comfortable, and I think I did go through that. I think also it was a bit more of like a wood based build, but I don't remember. I need to record these as soon as I finish filming them. I need to get my life together, but I don't have it, so that is that. Also, this was a very unique apartment to design. In my opinion, even though this apartment is quite sparse, this would 100% be the cheapest apartment out of all of them, because it has no windows. There are no bloody windows in it. Which is why whenever I do use this specific like 2-floor apartment, I normally never ever have a bedroom in this little corner or anything, because there's no windows and I refuse to have a space with no windows. But I did it this time because otherwise it would have been dead space and I literally could not have fit in an 8th bedroom. So what I did instead, and what you'll see in a moment, is I added mirrors to the wall to help expand the size, make it look really homey and cozy, and like a place you could actually live in. So that was the design behind that. Yeah, I think this build's a little bit more like, this specific apartment's a little bit more boho, relaxed, that type of aesthetic. As I place down a sharp metal table, irrelevant. I can't remember, and I'm so frustrated with myself what this design I had was for this. So frustrating. But I also did absolutely utilize all of this space fantastically, and I love how this specific apartment turns out. It's up there in one of my favorite ones, especially when I add the mirrors, just because it's completely functional. It has TV, living room, dining room, bedroom. It all has like distinct spaces. And this is when I realized, why am I adding that there? Get rid of it. Add more mirrors. Add full mirrors. And I did. And it looks really awesome. And I really liked the addition of it. Yep. 10 out of 10. Good idea. I can't remember the vibe I was going with for this build. They were just so intentional, and I'm so upset with myself that I don't remember the concept behind these builds that I was doing when I was doing them, because I would have loved to have shared with you what I was doing, and I can't remember. Ay. Anyway, this is the apartment. It's definitely chock-full, even though it doesn't have mirrors. It's so functional. It's laid out really well. Like, it's definitely an aesthetically pleasing layout. I'm glad I didn't put the kitchen where the bed is, etc, etc. It really flows. So this is the fourth sim. She's in the full-length dress on the right. That's who I'm designing for. I think her style is very, like, when I was again designing it, I'm so ticked off I can't remember. When I was designing her space, it was to be very modern. Like, this was a very modern with a little bit of a colorful concept to it. Now, she has the biggest bathroom. Her apartment is very skinny. Like, it's very awkward to design. It was really awkward to design, but it worked well. It just took me a while to figure out what I wanted to do, but she definitely has the largest bathroom. Like, she has a 3x2 instead of a 2x2. So although it's skinny, she has a lot of bathroom space, which is quite nice. Yes, so I think the aesthetic with this one was like real purple vibes and just pretty. Gosh. I'm so disappointed in myself right now. So when I was designing, I really wanted there to be a living room and a dining room table, which has been my goal throughout this whole entire build. And it ended up being possible and plausible in this space once I maneuvered everything around. I eventually ended up squishing the bed a little bit more to the wall, as I just did. Again, my space does not let me have two Sims sleep in a type of bed like that, but I've heard loads of people it doesn't matter. So if you play in this specific apartment, hopefully it doesn't matter, because this is real life would absolutely work. Sim life, it gets a bit confused. Yeah, the vibe just changed in like 10 seconds flat. Don't know what I was doing. I think I was just trying to be very modern, and I do love the what's that called? The dresser I used. I love, if I could own that dresser, I would own a lot of things in this like Sims world that I think would be so functional and beautiful in my own space. That dresser would be one of them. Absolutely love it. So cute. But yeah, again, this layout of this space is awesome. It works really well. I think going away from the purple, even though initially it looked good, allowed the space to be bigger and open up a bit more, because I think when I was designing, I wanted it to be a bit of a pinky vibe, and I think I got that at the end. When initially I had all the purple, and the purple was a bit too intense. So I think the pink vibe really helps and makes the space look beautiful. But she's the only one that has a bathtub. So yeah, she's kind of spoiled in this room. No biggie. She's got a bathtub. Now this here is going to be the shared laundry room for all of them. That's going to be fun. Again, this would be a really fun build to download and play with. I can't even imagine having so much laundry with 8 Sims and only 1 washer, which is like normal, but for some reason I'm thinking to myself, that's like a normal household. I don't know why I exaggerated that so much. That's what normal people do. Anyway, that's the other Sim. This is the space we're designing for her now. Going back to the laundry, I need to get my life together. I can't believe I thought. Anyway, they're probably doing a lot of laundry because they're models, so hopefully they have a lot of outfit changes throughout the day, and that's why they're doing a lot of laundry, and there'd be a bit of drama around that. But otherwise, they all work well together and are good apartment mates. But except for when it comes to laundry. So I'm going to pretend that they all do a lot of clothing. Like a lot of laundry, because they do wear a lot of clothing. Yep. I think... Oh my gosh, this isn't even 8, is it? This is 6. I need to get my counting together. I'm a full-grown adult, and I can't count. This is so embarrassing. This is a model home for 6 models, not 8. Oh my goodness. I'm a little bit embarrassed on that one. This is actually for 6 Sims, not 8. That is that. Thank you. Moving on. I can't believe I just thought it was 8 Sims, but it's 6. Oh my goodness. I gotta get it together, guys. And I'm not even like tired today or anything. That was a little bit of a moment, wasn't it? Anyway, I also would love to own this bedspread. I just like the color. If you can't guess, I love the color yellow. I would be happy with a very bright room. But I think I do adore this space. It works very well. And what I like the most about this specific apartment is that, you'll see in a second what I add, separates the bedroom from the rest of the space. So it kind of feels like a 1 bedroom, 1 kitchen spot instead of like a 2 bedroom, sorry, like a studio. And I'm changing this whole entire layout, so don't get stressed. It's too big of a kitchen for this tiny of a space. So I do absolutely change it. But I really, really like what I did with the little bed section, because it made it feel like an extra bedroom. So I think out of all of the designs in this build, my favorite is probably the second one I did. I really like how that turned out. And I also like how this one turns out, but it's also the biggest space, so there was a lot I could do with it. This also was intentional. I didn't want all of the spaces to be even. I wanted them to all be different, and that's what I got. But I think I like this. I like all of them, but I really think not the second build, not the sofa build, but the third build with the no mirrors, I just like it, and I'm really proud of myself and how I actually was able to design it, because again, I never build in places and spaces that don't have mirrors, and you would think, yeah, that's not a detriment, there's just no windows in the space, but I thought it was a little bit like, how would you vibe with life if you didn't have like a window in your bedroom? Because like a typical bedroom in modern day, when they build a bedroom, there's a window. So, I mean, also, like, some people prefer not having windows in their bedrooms. I'm not one of those people, so when I build The Sims, I like to add windows to the bedrooms. I've just gone on a rant about windows, but I also watch videos on YouTube that have, like, they rent out the apartments because the price to rent an apartment is so astronomical that, like, they convert one of the walk-in closets into a bedroom. I don't mind that, but I would be, because it would be quiet, it would be cozy, it would actually be a lovely place to sleep, but I also would be a little bit like, I would want a window, but other people would be very happy without one. And that was a great discussion for just me. So as you can see in this space, I messed about so much with the kitchen. I end up really happy with this layout, and where I added a little high top area to sit and relax in. It looks fantastic. It's a really functional kitchen, and it definitely opens up the space. Whereas before it was just kitchen, 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 and didn't have like a distinction between wall, apartment, etc., etc. And I quite like how it looks now. And I'm also confused because I really did... No, I did add it, never mind. I was like, where'd the wall go? I added it for the bedroom. So I think this space too is very flowy. Unlike the first apartment, it was just bed. Like, bed was in the kitchen was in the bed. She didn't even have a table, so she would pay the least amount of rent. Tied with the apartment with no windows. Because even though it's very well designed, it doesn't have windows, and that is something I value, so as a renter or a landlord, I would lower the price of that one a little bit to match like the smaller space, but the other one that does have like an insane amount of windows. I also wanted to add extra stools outside, just so like if she had guests over, so she could bring them in, and I like that. I create a literal outdoor living space here. It was meant to like mimic an indoor living room, but outside, and I like it. Because in The Sims, unlike real life, rain does not affect the things outside if they're covered by a roof, so these things would be fine. In real life, I would not be putting any of these things outside except for the plant and maybe the metal stools. Okay, thanks for listening to me rant a little bit all day and discuss the importance of windows or lack thereof. Let us go and tour this 6-bedroom apartment. You just saw the Sims. This is the first entryway. Nice, simple, skinny. This is the first studio apartment. The one that is the smallest, but definitely has the most light, so it feels quite large. But at least she has a really nice, massive bathroom. Not tiny and sad like a lot of apartments bathrooms are, especially in, you know, New York. I've seen those videos. Heck no, baby. Heck no. Here's my most proud apartment out of the 6. I like the skinny hallway. Again, it just allows for, like, this layout just makes me so happy. It's so functional. It looks so good. The kitchen's like separated from everything else. This is a 9 out of 10 because -1 for no windows. But very beautiful. Love it. Good color scheme. Again, 9 out of 10. Here we are on the 2nd floor and about to head into the 1st bedroom on this floor. This is the studio of the only Sim whose concept I remembered from this moment's apartment, the sports-based model. With her beautiful, beautiful and massive outdoor space, but very, very tiny indoor living space, and that's why she has a bunk bed. I think you could add a 2nd bed, like a full queen bed in there, but nah, I didn't want to. And get rid of the desk. This is their washing room, and then this is the 2nd apartment. A very skinny layout, but again, very well designed. The massive bathroom in comparison to the rest. Very skinny, but very, very functional. And then in real life, it would be awesome just to add like a pull-out divider to make the bedroom feel like a bedroom. Look at that dresser, absolutely gorgeous. So a lot of nice subtle pink red touches in that apartment, beautiful. And then the last, but I think coolest apartment in the whole build, also the largest. Definitely has a lot of just colorful vibes to it, very modern bathroom, and a fantastic kitchen. I do love how I ended up with the kitchen, despite how long it took. And then here we are in her little outdoor 2nd living room space. And that is the whole entire build. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see all of y'all next time. Bye!